about the 6 hats already. However, you can connect them to help you understand more about the problem stakeholders. For example, if you connect pairs of hats, you'll be able to sit down, figure out your stakeholders, and understand them better. You'll be able to assess solutions that should hopefully help them out. And you'll also learn how to serve them better. So let's look at connecting the hats. The first 2 hats we could add together are the red and white hats. Red is primal. It talks about emotions and feelings. And white is about facts, stuff we can list out, variables, stuff we can measure, the concrete things. We can combine these 2 things together as to better understand our stakeholders. Why? Because people are a combination of both. They're a combination of facts, the real world, and how they think, and also how they feel. Now the trick is to realize that we just don't arbitrarily just squish them together. We do one hat before the other. Then we reverse the order, and we get to really learn or understand our stakeholders better. For example, if we add the red and the white hat 2 different ways, we can go white plus red or red plus white. And what's cool about this, it'll give us 2 sets of questions. For example, if you do the white hat first, then followed up with the red, you can ask questions like this. After seeing the audit results, how do you feel about the cost of administration and training? This is where you explore feelings that are induced by the observation of facts. White first, red second. Now let's swap the order the other way around. Red first, white second. We're going to ask a question like this. What is your gut saying about our new policy? And which metrics should we consider? That's important because you appeal to the person's feelings as to get a sense of what numbers or what concrete information is relevant. So depending upon the order of addition, red and white, or white and red, you can gain insight and understanding into the stakeholders. What happens if we put the black and the yellow hat together? This fits the idea of assessment. Let's see an example. The black hat has you think about things of, hey, how can things go wrong? What are the risks entailed? What can blow up and cause everything to fail? The negative side of things. That's the black hat. The yellow hat is the opposite. It's the optimist. It asks, hey, if we do this, how can people benefit? Putting the 2 together will help you assess a certain solution. You could think of this as something like a cost-benefit analysis sort of thing. The cost will be the black hat. The yellow will be the benefit. Now, let's pop into 2 questions and see how this looks like, just like before. If we ask the black question first, then follow up with the yellow, we get the first question here. For example, we know the risks involved with fixing the employment contracts. So what are the benefits of us doing so? This is the scenario where you have a potential solution and you start thinking about or assessing the ramifications of that solution. The other way around gives you a different kind of question. If you go yellow than black, it's more intuitive. For example, wow, this process saved us a ton of money. What do we need to do to keep it working? This is a chance to ask the question, hey, we got something that's good. How do we keep it good and how do we keep it going? So depending upon which order you ask, black or yellow and black, you'll be able to do different kinds of assessments. Now this only leaves the green and blue hat. Putting these 2 together give us a sense of service when it comes to helping out the stakeholders. For example, the green hat is about creativity, growing things like plants, green. Given our goals, how can we creatively express our ideas and solutions? Good question. The blue hat is, hey, how should we share our ideas and solutions with the stakeholders? Putting these 2 things together will help you transform your idea into something service-oriented to help out the stakeholders experiencing a problem. Now let's go see the green and blue and green questions. Green and blue, top one. We have a list of awesome ideas. How best can we gather and share them with the stakeholders? As you can see this time around, green is we grew some really cool ideas. How can we share it? That's what the green-blue process is. Now the opposite process, blue-green, is no big surprise. We can ask something like this. We know that stakeholders prefer social media communications. Okay, how can we use this idea to disseminate our awesome ideas? Okay, So just like before, depending on the order of the hats, green or blue and green, you'll come up with different ideas. You'll be able to brainstorm different ways to serve those experiencing the problem or your stakeholders. So, what's the takeaway from this presentation? It's pretty much just this. We have all these different hats from Bono, and each one in isolation is very useful. However, if we connect them, we can come up with a lot more understanding of what's going on and better understand the stakeholders involved with what's going on. So your takeaway message is this. It's just a matter of connecting the hats in both directions. Remember, if you take two hats, connect them one direction, see what questions appear, connect them in the opposite direction, see what other questions appear. And whatever you come up with, no matter which pairs of hats you choose, you'll learn something new about the stakeholders and the problem you're trying to explore.